Bro, you just dissed me for the final time. Bro, you just showed me disrespect. The only course of action left is to take this to the ring. This coming Monday night, we're gonna duke it out for keeper. And I will climb to the top rope and jump and kick you in the face. And I've been training all my wrestling skills, so I will surely win. It doesn't matter if it's submission, elimination, or just pin. When I beat you, everyone will know how weak you are. You'll lose your job. I'll take your fans and take your girl, and then I'm gonna take your belt.
Welcome to Marking Out in the Morning. Coming to you live from Audacity Solution Studios in Des Moines, Iowa. It is 10:05 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's 11:05 Eastern, 8 Pacific. 4 p.m. Sweden, 12:30 a.m. in certain parts of Australia. We're an hour late today because I got busy writing some stuff that I published online for the Inquisitor. We'll get to that later. This is the first and only live daily morning call-in pro wrestling news and rumors podcast. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you're listening live, that means you know that we're here every morning on Periscope at HEELZiggler.com. And we're also live every morning on Blog Talk Radio in podcast format. And yeah, if you have anything you want to say while the show goes live, hop on the Periscope room at HEELZiggler.com. If you don't know about Periscope or learn about it, you can hit me up on Twitter at HEELZiggler_com. Again, same name, because HEELZiggler.com is who supports this show. So yeah, let's just get right into John Cena. Oh, also, if you want to call in, 657-383-1786. You're welcome to call in and just talk to me. People on Periscope won't hear you, but everybody else will. 657-383-1786. Tweet or Periscope at HEELZiggler_com. Blog Talk Radio. Live. We'll talk about the other options later. I'm your host, the Audacity. Let's get down to it. This is Marking Out in the Morning. So one of the reasons I started late today was because I just finished publishing an article at Inquisitor.com about the possibility of John Cena being a part of the next season of the Celebrity Apprentice, the one that is being hosted by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And at first, I thought this was somehow tied into him taking time off coming up. Well, now he was not on Raw, and so it's assumed he will be gone for however long his tenure is, so however long his break is going to be. But so it's not involved in that because the Celebrity Apprentice doesn't start again until late in 2016. But according to an unnamed source who talked to Hollywood Life, so however much faith you put in that, someone from WWE told them that the producers at NBC would love to have John Cena on the show, which is kind of an obvious thing to say. What show wouldn't want John Cena on their show? He's a big name. He's good on TV. That's such an obvious thing to say. And they listed some reasons why it would make sense. The fact that Comcast owns both the USA Network and the NBC Network, where Raw and Celebrity Apprentice respectively are aired every week. Also, the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger has a really good relationship with WWE, so them getting along would not be a problem at all. And there's a lot of good things that WWE could bring to a show like Celebrity Apprentice. I mean, not to mention Donald Trump is the man behind it, who is good friends with Vince, unless something's happened recently. So there's a lot of reasons why it could work out. Bill Goldberg has been on the show before, so Cena wouldn't be the first wrestler. He certainly would be the most important wrestler, and there's a good chance he would be the most important celebrity on that episode. There have been some relatively important ones before, but yeah, so that's the down low on that. There's not a lot, but Hollywood Life is reporting it, which means eventually everybody else will be reporting it. I just learned this morning how quickly some of that stuff can go. I wrote an article about Breaking Bad and how season 6 won't be happening like some people thought. And man, my article was up at other people's sites right away. So my guess is that John Cena and Celebrity Apprentice will be hitting the dirt sheets pretty soon. Like I said, I happened to be up at an early hour and I caught it on HollywoodLife.com. Has nothing to do with his break he's taking right now, but there's reason to think he might do it. There's no absolute convinced reason he's definitely doing it, but it makes sense, and he might be kind of interesting to see on a reality show of that kind for a few weeks, to see what he really understands about business and what he's learned while being at WWE. So that's really all we're going to talk about. I didn't go through any of the other real new rumors or dirt sheets or anything this morning. I guess I did read about Alberto Del Rio. Apparently his contract is $1.45 million a year. Compare that to John Cena, whose contract is $2.75 million a year. Although with someone like John Cena, you have to kind of take in the Michael Jordan effect, where he can afford to play the sport for less than he's worth because he makes up for it tons and tons through his merchandise and his sponsorship. So taking one for the team, doing what's best for business, John Cena definitely probably could ask for much more than $2.75 million. But Alberto Del Rio, in case you're wondering, $1.5 million a year is the price it took to get him to come to WWE. Let's hope that it really does help the Latino demographic like they want. Man, if they're spending that much on him, I hope they bring back Carlito too, because I really like Carlito. That's really it as far as rumors and stuff that I became familiar with. Because I spent that time, I wrote a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I have for news and rumors today. Sorry if you wanted more than that.
Spoiler alert, 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 spoiler alert,
real quick then, we'll go over NXT. It's going to be a short show today. No guests or anything. I didn't get into a lot of the headlines. I might skim it one more time before we go down. But again, if you want to read any more about the possibility of John Cena being on Celebrity Apprentice, check out the article I wrote at Inquisitor. If you don't know how to spell that because it's weird on the internet, INQUISTIR ITR. See, I already screwed up. Just follow us on Twitter. You'll get a million links to that article at HEELZiggler.com. Article at Inquisitor about John Cena possibly joining the cast of Celebrity Apprentice. Let's go over what happened last night on NXT. Obviously, it was taped some time ago, but aired for the first time on the WWE Network. Available this morning on Hulu Plus or the WWE Network as well. Both able to stream on demand. We'll go through it segment by segment as I read off of BleacherReport.com. I did watch it. This is just a reminder because I haven't had time to write anything up. The opening match was Shazza McKenzie versus Emma. Basically, just a new girl. And they are, like I said last week, they are giving these new unknown girls entrances and theme music and stuff. So it's, even though they are essentially jobbers, they're at least getting personality and whatnot. Emma was the clear victor. And she made her tap out. So they're trying to, build up Emma and Dana for Asuka. But yeah, there you go. The next match, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. A really good match from a couple of, as far as I know, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan have done a lot. Whatever. It was a good match. I'm kind of hoping that eventually Gargano and Tommaso just feud with each other. But good match last night, won by Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. You got about a 15-minute match. So, yeah, worth checking out. The next match on the card was Kaylee Ray versus Nia Jax. Nia Jax had had a match each week for the last 2 weeks. So, looks like, she'll be doing kind of the destroying people who aren't really any good. She just is so dominant over Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray got a few little shots in, but nothing that mattered really. Nia Jax is fun to watch. I like what they're doing with her. So, yeah, coming to you live from Des Moines, Iowa today, Audacity Solution Studios. Again, Nia Jax got a quick win over Kaylee Ray. We'll see how the push goes and how long before Nia Jax is going after the NXT Women's Championship. The next match was not a match. It was supposed to be a rematch of Wilder or Dash and Dawson versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. On the way to the ring, Dash and Dawson attacked them, and there was no match. So, whatever. We'll see how this one plays out. Hopefully some kind of no DQ match down the road. And Samoa Joe had a match with Tyler Breeze. Made Tyler Breeze tap out. Clean finish to the feud that began last week. So, looks like that was Tyler Breeze's send-off. And Samoa Joe can continue to claim that he defeated Tyler Breeze. And that is what happened. They also did a lot of segments for Finn Balor and Apollo Crews, but neither of them had a match. So I do believe Finn Balor had a dark match against Ty Dillinger, however. So that's the gist of NXT from last night. Ooh, I forgot to use the spoiler alert sound effect. Oh well. Alright, if I forgot to say so before, in the background you've got Survivor Series 1988 going, so you're going to hear the commentary perhaps of Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon a little bit. Again, I'm going to go over the SmackDown preview. Just went over John Cena going to Celebrity Apprentice. We talked about that before, and we went over NXT. If you want to know more about that, you can go check that out, or stick around until this is over. I'll talk to you about it later. Anyway, let's go over tonight's SmackDown preview. Yeah, no hat today. I just washed my hair, which rarely happens, Coop. And on days I wash my hair, I don't wear a hat. So that's how you'll know when I wash my hair. Again, this is another article I published at Inquisitor, the spoiler-free preview for Thursday Night SmackDown, the Halloween edition. You've got some pretty cool graphics, actually, they made of different WWE superstars reimagined as monsters. Yeah, anyway, I thought it was a cool graphic. Anyway, tonight's SmackDown spoiler-free preview includes Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a non-title match. You got the Lucha Dragons versus the Ascension versus the Dudley Boys versus King Barrett and Sheamus in a fatal four-way tag team match. You got Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz in a trick-or-treat street fight. And you've got Paige versus Natalya. And Alberto Del Rio versus R-Truth. And the Wyatt family, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman versus Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, and Ryback in a six-man tag in what I believe is the main event or the first match. Again, I'm not sure if I just listed that from main event to opener or opener to main event. Either way, that's what's going on. So let's just go back over those real quick, see if there's anything worth mentioning on these matches. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. They're pushing Kevin Owens pretty good lately, so I don't imagine he's going to job out or anything here, but they're definitely not going to let Roman Reigns take a fall. So my guess is that Roman Reigns starts to get the better of Kevin Owens, and then Kevin Owens just leaves the match and decides he doesn't want anything else to do with it. And then we somehow learn from that who will challenge him for the Intercontinental title. Maybe we'll get a hint, hopefully, or maybe not till Raw. But I'm guessing not a real finish for that match. The fatal four-way tag team match, I'm not sure what they're doing with this match. It's probably one of two things. Either they're trying to determine who challenges for the tag titles next, or they're starting to set up a Survivor Series traditional elimination match, which this one would be like the Lucha Dragons and the Dudley Boys versus the Ascension and King Barrett and Sheamus, which that one obviously doesn't make a lot of sense since you would think Stardust would be in there. But either way, fatal four-way tag match, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how King Barrett and Sheamus keep doing together, if they're going to keep teaming until something goes up where the King and the Mr. Money in the Bank have to split up. Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz in a trick-or-treat street fight. I think that basically just gives them the excuse to try to be kind of funny with some of the objects they use. It'll probably be mildly entertaining. I assume Tyler Breeze will make an appearance and get involved and help The Miz win, since it is a street fight, aka no DQ match. And Paige versus Natalya. I don't know if this is going to be the end of their little mini feud, or if this just plays more into all the drama. I'm guessing, yeah, obviously it's going to play more into the drama of the falling out of PCB. So we'll see how it ends. I'm guessing it's not going to be a clean win either way, or if it is, then there's some post-match antics so that it just continues on. If you remember, I have a video of, in my article, a video of their match from last August where Paige was licking Natalya. If you're interested, again, check out my article at Inquisitor for the SmackDown preview. We got Alberto Del Rio versus R-Truth, which is obviously a squash. And that's where I talk a little bit about how he's getting paid $1.45 million a year to leave AAA and come up to WWE. So, yeah, you can read more about that at my article. And the Wyatt family, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman. I can't imagine at all that there's any way they would lose to this makeshift team of guys that WWE doesn't like anyway. You have the Wyatt family going up against Undertaker, Kane, and possibly Sting, possibly, who knows, but they're going to have to make the Wyatts look like a really strong unit between now and Survivor Series. So I don't think, and we already know the WWE doesn't really care about Cesaro. They just tried with Ryback and gave up, and Dean Ambrose, they're kind of have him on the back burner until they see where things go with Roman Reigns. So all that to say, I'm pretty sure Wyatts are going to win that match. That's really all you got for SmackDown. So I don't know what. Yeah, again, this seems like there could be some really good wrestling on this show. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns will probably be a good match. Del Rio versus R-Truth could have a minute or two worth of decent content. The Wyatts with Dean Ambrose and Cesaro in the ring, that could be fun. Natalya, Paige, they are two of the best wrestlers in not just the Divas division, but maybe the company. Ziggler, The Miz with no DQ, that could be fun. Lucha Dragons and Dudleys. There's a lot of good potential, and WWE doesn't even care enough to make sure you know about it. So do yourself a favor, at least TiVo it so you can fast forward through it and you'll have all the good moments saved. That's what's happening on SmackDown tonight. And that's really all that I have for you today. Don't forget you can listen to us in a variety of ways. And whatever you're doing right now, I encourage you to try another way just to see if it works out any better. If you want the experience live, you can go to Periscope. If you don't know anything about Periscope, then get on Twitter, follow us at HEELZiggler_com. Follow the links every morning we send out when we do the show. It is an app within an app. and it's tied directly to your Twitter account. You can watch me live as we do the podcast. Also, you can go to Blog Talk Radio, search for us Audacity Solutions, and you can listen to the podcast live every morning that way, the unedited version. And you can subscribe there so you get notifications that way as well. Also, just if you subscribe to follow us on Twitter at HEELZiggler_com, we send those reminders out every morning, so you will always know when you can catch more Marking Out in the Morning and the other podcasts we put out. Like tomorrow, we'll be putting out Tweet the Table, episode 28-ish. What else to let you know about? Other ways to listen to us. If you want to watch, we put the YouTube video out. Usually it's up before the afternoon time, Central Standard. So that's always an option if you want to have some visual stimulation as well. You can listen to the Periscope videos for up to, I think, 24 hours later. You just wouldn't be able to interact live. I encourage you to check Periscope out if you've never tried it. Just see what it's like. It could be cool. We're also available on iTunes. You can subscribe to us there. Available on Stitcher. Subscribe to us there. Sponsored by HEELZiggler.com. All kinds of updates there all the time. So, yeah, I'm your host, the Audacity. Thanks for joining us. We'll be here tomorrow. Lazy Friday. I can't guarantee what time. I'll try to be at 9. I gotta get ready for a Halloween party tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll be extra early. I could be extra early. Could be extra late. Who knows? Thanks for joining us. Here's the closing song.
Marking Out in the Morning is proud to be recorded in Des Moines, Iowa at Audacity Solutions Studios. You can check us out at HEELZiggler.com. Follow us on Twitter at HEELZiggler_com. The song you hear at the beginning of the show was recorded in Des Moines, Iowa by my friend Campbell D'Souza with recording studios of Phil Young. You likely also heard the song Parsec by the artist Arma Puros, which I downloaded for free at noisetrade.com. The album Timelines, and got permission from Arma Puros on Twitter for that. I also downloaded the song you're hearing right now at noisetrade.com. It is by a band called Ampersand. The song is called Aurora Borealis. It's on their album Trial and Triumph. Available for free at noisetrade.com. I haven't gotten their permission for this yet, but I hope to do so in the future. I tweet them about it, so we'll see what happens. You may also hear more aggressive songs that would be Ready, Set, Fire by a website called incompetech.com, where you can download stuff like that to use for your own goods, royalty free. Marking Out in the Morning is here every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can subscribe to our podcast at iTunes or Stitcher. Just search for Audacity Solutions Podcast. And of course, you can listen live every day or listen to the entire archive at blogtalkradio.com/Audacity Solutions.